Why do we constantly struggle with fear and worry about the future? And how do we begin to overcome it? I got you. First, let's understand why it happens, and I'll share 3 things for overcoming it. From a professional neuroplastician and brain retraining practitioner specializing in overcoming habitual negative thinking. When it comes to fear and worry about the future, it's often based on our perceptions and interpretations of situations rather than objective reality. While fears are instinctual and serve a protective function, many of our modern fears that we experience are products of our minds or imagined creations shaped by past experiences, beliefs, and societal influences that we are regularly participating in or exposed to. The Stoic philosopher Seneca famously nailed it when he said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Our imaginations have a powerful role in shaping our fears. We might create scenarios in our minds about potential dangers, negative outcomes, or worst case scenarios that are often exaggerated or unlikely to occur in the first place. So why do we continue to fall victim to this ploy? Let's look at it from the brain's perspective. Your brain is a prediction machine. Its job is to keep you 10 steps ahead of everything, because the more it can try to predict outcomes, the more you can protect yourself. Remember, the 2 main functions of your brain are efficiency and survival. And the more your brain can predict outcomes, the more comfortable you falsely feel, which gives us an inaccurate sense of safety even when it's harmful. So let's think about what happens in the brain just before you begin to feel worry or anxious. When you initially have a thought about a potential threat or fear, your brain creates a split-second mental image or movie that flashes through your mind. Then you insert yourself into this image because it's from your perspective, and you try it on, causing you to experience and feel it as if it's real. Every time you do this, you mentally rehearse it, and it primes your brain into believing that it is more real and further reinforces more fear. And once those fearful emotions are activated, your mindset shifts into a negative state. The rational part of your brain diminishes, and you're unable to see positive possibilities with clarity. This is where you start feeling stuck in negative thought loops. And the more often you subject your brain to this process, the more your brain learns to do it efficiently and will automatically choose this process for you every time you're faced with a new challenge or fearful thought. And you end up projecting those fears onto new experiences even when they're positive, because your brain learned how to do this very effectively. And maybe now you're asking, so how do I change this? Let's start with 3 strategies I successfully utilize with my clients to retrain their brain out of these thought loops. The first is intentional self-focus, observing when and how you're participating in these thought processes. This is the first step to proactively begin to change them. The second is challenging negative and fearful thoughts by questioning them. Is this really true? How do I know it's not true? The third is using evaluation instead of rumination. What if I saw this through the mindset of strength and resilience? What would I do differently if I felt in control and empowered? It's important to acknowledge that you are wonderfully human and address these fears with compassion and understanding while you move through them. And don't forget to believe in yourself as you learn new, healthy, and positive thought patterns.